Yeah, it's filming.
Okay. This is not going to be your traditional Sunday roast because during lockdown we've started having our Sunday roast on a Saturday because then you have a full day to recover. So yesterday we actually had duck, so I had a lot of leftover duck, and there is nothing better than a Chinese takeaway, but because we live out in the whoop-whoops, a Chinese takeaway is a 20-mile round trip. So tonight I'm going to make Singapore noodles, and I thought I would actually show you, and this will be linked to a full recipe when we launch my new website, which will be hopefully in a couple of weeks, where it's a new style of cookbook where when you click on a recipe you'll get a video. Anyway, so tonight we're having Singapore noodles. I have started with, ouch, that's hot. I've got my noodles which are sitting in boiling water for 10 minutes and then I'll drain them. The secret to doing a stir fry, I know you've seen all the proper chefs tell you this, but they're right. Get everything ready, and because I'm a little bit anal, I don't just get everything ready, but I put it in the order that I'm going to use it. So this is my curry powder, ginger and chilli. Now when it comes to curry powder in sort of takeaway Chinese recipes, they use a ready mixed one. And I would say there is definitely a place for that. Everybody knows that when I cook, I mix all my own things, but I do have a place for shop-bought curry powder, and in this case I'm using Madras. So I can smell that oil. So I'm going to start, I'm going to start by draining my noodles. So this is the only boring bit. Oh, sorry. Okay, and this is what you'll get on my videos, are the fact that obviously whenever I cook in the evening, it's always with a glass of wine. So there'll be the odd crash of things falling out the cupboards, burning myself, splashing myself, and generally making a mess. So that's my noodles drained. And now we're ready to cook. I also, because I'm having a glass of wine, I also write a list of the things that I've got to do, but you'll have a recipe because I will have written a recipe. So the first thing that's going in is going to be the ginger, chilli and curry powder, and it is literally just going to go in for a few seconds. Lovely, smells gorgeous. Next is bean sprouts, red pepper and the carrot. I'm going to make sure all of that is cut. It already smells fantastic. So I'm just going to, gosh, that smells good. I'm going to cook those down for about a minute. Now, because we had duck yesterday, I'm doing shredded duck, but obviously you can use shredded cooked chicken, and also I'm using little prawns. You could do a vegetarian version and just miss this whole stage out completely. But I'm just going to give this a few more seconds. I think it's good if you see this in real time so you know what to expect. If you don't have a wok, you can just use a large saucepan. Don't feel that you have to follow recipes slavishly. I think what I want to try and get across to people is to be a little bit adventurous. Okay, so I'm going to put in my prawns and duck and give that, oh god, this smells so good. Give that all a good stir. Yum. Okay, I'm going to, you can stay there with the camera. Oh, so that dog barking is my son coming home from McDonald's. He didn't fancy noodles tonight, he wanted McDonald's. And who are we to criticise? So, noodles are going in. Now at this point I actually find pincers are really good, look at that, for pulling everything through and making sure that everything's coated. I always make, so The recipe that you'll get will be for 4. I'm making this for a bit extra because both of the adult children are working at the moment. So they like to take a takeaway with them for their lunches. So I always do extra that can be packed up for a lunch. Oh my God, this actually looks authentic. So that's all. Can you see why the pincers are just so much better than trying to do it with a spoon or a spatula? There we go, lovely. And now I'll use the spatula just to get all the sides in. Give it a good old mash up. Oh, there we go. Give it a good mash up. So the next thing is I'm going to add the eggs. So I'm going to make a hole here in the middle. So I've got an egg which has been lightly beaten. I'm going to pour that in and let that cook. Oh gosh, so I apologise for the dog. She's clearly hungry. So the egg is in the middle and just cooking. Be quiet, Maisie. Should I go and stop the dog barking? It's because James is revving his engine. So there we go, the egg is actually just cooked. So now I'm going to push that egg through, which is lovely. Give it all a good coat. The next thing going in is, this is a mix of oyster sauce, soy sauce, there's some rice vinegar in there and chili flakes. Yum. What's not to love? Excuse me. Oh, that's the chili. I might go back to my pincers to make sure it's all covered. Oh, for God's sake. I do apologise. Okay. Now, we'll get to serving it. So I've got a big plate. Give it a good stir around. Ouch, that's quite hot. So I'm going to look for a tea towel or something. So I'm going to tip this onto a big plate. Hello again. Hello, we're filming. I'm going to sprinkle with some spring onions and some sesame oil, and we will put it on the table for everyone to help themselves. And that is my Singapore noodles.